What's going on, everybody? Tom here with Keto Lifestyle, and today we are making a keto-friendly tortilla. Yes, you can go to the store and buy low-carb tortillas, but if you're really strict on keto, some of those ingredients may not be perfectly keto-friendly. And a lot of the recipes that I found on the internet tend to be really brittle and not wrapped too well. So today we're going to be making these keto tortillas. This is my recipe here, and my favorite thing about them is they're really flexible. You can do whatever you want with them, and they're going to hold shape. So make them into tacos, whatever you want. But now that you've seen the product, let me show you how to make it. So the first thing you're going to see me do here is add 3/4 cup of water to a microwave safe bowl. We're not going to microwave it yet, but just have it there waiting on the side. The next thing we're going to do is add 1/2 cup plus 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed to a larger bowl. The 1 tablespoon extra may sound a little bit funny to you, but trust me when I say you need it. It's all there for the consistency of the dough. Next to our bowl, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of psyllium husk powder. Psyllium husk powder is used to add a little bit of elasticity to a dough. You'll see it in a lot of keto bread recipes. If you don't have any of it, I'm going to go ahead and just hyperlink the word psyllium husk powder in the recipe to take you to Amazon where you can buy some. Next to the bowl, we're going to add 2 teaspoons of chia seed. Unfortunately, I only got a video of me adding 1, but trust me, there are 2 in there. And then we're going to go ahead and stir it up. Next, you're going to add about 1/4 teaspoon of salt. You can do a little bit more, a little bit less, depending on your taste. And then we're going to just mix everything up until it is well incorporated. Now we're going to pour in our microwaved water into the bowl. And I did make a little pocket in the center, like a little cavity that I'm going to pour it in. And then I'm going to use a fork to go ahead and mix this until it's really well mixed together. You don't want any dry spots or anything like that. It needs to be well mixed. Towards the end, you'll see me kind of start molding with my hands, but initially the water is going to be far too hot to do with your hand. Now, since this recipe is for 4 tortillas, the best thing you can do is just break it in half and then break that in half again. You're going to get 4 pretty evenly sized balls, and then I'm just going to set them on the side for now until we're ready to use them. To flatten these things out into tortillas, you're going to need 2 sheets of parchment paper. I really like this pre-cut stuff from Reynolds Kitchen. It just makes my life a lot easier. And then you're also going to need a cutting board and a rolling pin. So the cutting board is actually there to apply even pressure. So what I'm going to do is just take a ball, set it right in the center of the bottom piece of parchment paper, cover it in another sheet, and then apply as much downward pressure as I can. Depending on the weight of your body and various things, will depend on how thick you can actually get it by applying body weight. But don't worry, we'll correct for that in a minute. So at this point, I'm feeling the tortilla, and I notice that it's a little bit too thick. I kind of want it between a 1/16 and an eighth of an inch. This was probably closer to a 1/4 inch. So what I'm doing is I'm taking my rolling pin and I'm kind of grabbing from the center and stretching it out as far as I can. I want to maintain the general shape, but I also want it to be about a 1/16 to an eighth of an inch thick. Once that's done, I put the cutting board on one last time and apply some more pressure, just to make sure that we have an even thickness across the whole sheet. When it comes to cooking these things, I really like a griddle pan, and then I'm just hitting it with a little bit of coconut oil. You want to watch the kind of oil you use because you want it to have a high smoking point. You could even use no oil in just a plain non-stick pan. And in the background you can see, I'm going to go ahead and just flatten out the rest of them while these are cooking. My general rule of telling when it's ready to flip is if I can move it without it sticking. So I'll just take my hand and slide it around. If it sticks, it's not ready yet. If it doesn't stick, I flip it over. It ends up being about a minute on each side. So now that you guys have seen how to make these, it is time for the taste test. So I'm just going to take a plain tortilla here and give it a bite. Now in terms of tasting perfectly like a tortilla, you do get a little bit of the flaxseed and some crunch from the chia seed. So if you don't like any crunch in yours, go ahead and leave the chia seeds out, but I like them for the macros. Texturally, it does taste like a tortilla, and I think these are going to make great tacos. So actually, I'm going to go make a taco out of this and I'll be back and taste it for its actual purpose. And I'm back, and this time with a taco. This is actually the same tortilla I took a bite out of in the last sequence, and the same one I was flopping around in the beginning. Anyway, let's take a bite out of it.
and that was probably far too large of a bite to take on camera. But I don't care. That was absolutely delicious. The tortilla did its job. It wasn't hard. It kind of just gave just like a normal tortilla would. Honestly, this is awesome. You guys have to give this a try. But with that, I'm gonna close the video. If you liked the video, leave it a like. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section. And of course, as always, if you have not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. Helps me out a lot, and you get to see more awesome recipes like this. With that, I will see you in the next one.